Te kia ora whānau, afternoon, evening. Been a little bit since I've been back on doing videos and stuff like that for my platform. But yeah, I've got some stuff. I've got some stuff going on underneath everything else that's going on with me. Um, um, there's quite a lot of stories that I've got from my past whilst under the influence of methamphetamine. Anyway, there was there was a time there. Um, Fuck, it actually hit me the other day. Um, um, how do I put this one? Fuck, this one was a state of in a state of psychosis. Um, State of psychosis. Really, my reality was not the reality as we know it. Um, I think that was the longest I had ever did staying awake. It was like a fuck, you know, 7, maybe what was it? It's a week, or I think it might have been almost 10, 11 days. I think it was, if I'm right, 10, 11 days. By the fourth day, everything became a blur. And that was just constant. That wasn't always smoking every day, Fano. That was just, drinking, trying to come down off the gear, trying to keep myself in a, level playing field. Um, Getting into a mumbling, gibberish like state of talking, everything more cracked voice, fuck all eating and stuff like that. And I have become in a state of paranoia, vicious paranoia, um, um, but still maintaining that um, everyday life. I was still doing, my kids, they were going to, I think my babies at the time were going to, oh, excuse me, going to kindy, and my big girl, she was she was fresh starting school, primary. Yeah, she would have been about 5 years old, I think it was. This memory had come back to me a little while ago. The longest that I stayed up for. I've had talks in the in this future of my life. I've had talks like, it's crack up because I remember staying up for this long, and actually I don't remember staying up that long. Um, One day I knew I was smoking pee. The next day I was fucking 3, 4 days later and still pumping. You know, and still pumping and still going and still maintaining and trying to maintain. I remember getting asked questions like, from my kids, and they're only babies, you know what I mean, like 5 years old, fucking knows they're only baby, and doing baths and stuff like that. And anyway, yeah. Oh, Dad, why your eyes red? Have you been crying? It's like, oh, yes, I've been crying. Oh, what's the matter? You sad? Things like that. Things that I know now that, man, and they good. You know, my kids, they knew that not every day Dad looks like the way he looked. But did I stop there? Nah, I didn't stop there. I still maintained taking them to school. And then carry on doing my thing, fucking in and out of criminal activity and shit like that. Whoo, what a first video, finally, after a little while of not talking about stuff like this. But this, I feel that I need to So we'll go back to how I mean about I was in a state of psychosis. Was So at the time I was living in Wellington, little place that I got brought up for about 25 years of my life. Little place called Stokes Valley is a one way in, one way out, unless you knew the hilltops, of course. Those there we brought up there, like me, I'm one myself. You could get from Stokes Valley over to Taira just like that, just running the hill. And it didn't take long, it took like 5-10 minutes, and you're straight over one side of the hill, straight down the other side, and then boom, you're there. But anyway, you know, um, Lower Hutt Stokes Valley, that's home. That's my home. I call their place home. Um, there's the stomping grounds. There's the fucking, there's the battlegrounds. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears down there. Smoked methane on the gear down there too. But yeah. So this part of my journey that I was on back then, that I remember, and I was in a state of psychosis, paranoia, all of it. I got to the point where my ex partner at the time, um, it just became like a switch, like fucking anything could start over anything. In my view was you know the voices, the fucking peeking out the curtains, looking at the gap like this, funny, boom, just looking through a gap like that, fuck, boom, one eyeball like this, and might be funny, but it's, I can laugh about it now, but I still, deep down, I I have this like an unconscious state of mind, walking, breathing, but not alive. Not alive. Um, I knew some pretty big hitters down there, in the gear, in the scene, and no names. A sense in no names. But that's a IYKYK too. Um, so yeah, back to my original. What we're here for was the state of psychosis. The longest I'd stayed awake for, fun. It was I'm sure it was more than 8 days anyway. That's what I remember. I can't guarantee you the number of days, but I do know that it was over a week anyway. And I remember being told it was more than a week. Anyway, a lot of things happened during this time. You know, um, obviously criminal activity, whilst fucking still trying to do my kids to go to kindy and school and shit like that, and it was condoned by the other half at the time. It's condoned like, yeah, fucking hey, that's us. We'll do this shit. Um, the thing about it is that I know now that it took the most precious part of my life away from me, a life away from my babies at the time, my kids, because that's our, that was the vital part of the schooling, schooling and education it started off at home, and then my big girl, she's only 5 years old, she knew that, Dad doesn't always look like this, eh? Dad doesn't always look like that. Why does Dad look like that? Why is his eyes red, Not only that, those weren't the only telltale signs, but it came from her. But at the same time, I brushed it off. I was like, it's alright, don't worry, Dad's alright. Jeez, I'm fucking sweating just talking about this shit. It became a blur. A lot of it became a blur. Once the smoke was in the lungs and out into the air, it was all happy and fun when we're smoking, and then when it come time to pilot the ship before we crash, fucking hell, we're crashing big time, eh? And I just wanted to note that, you know, me myself, I had I known now what I knew now back then, fuck. You know, I was just continuously on the page of it's alright. It's been condoned by one person and many others. It's like, oh, see, it's all good. You know. So you know, finally, the moral of this story is really being able to understand fully now that not only was the paranoia enough the thinking, you know, the voices, fucking car lights, the peeping out the windows, the this and that, and a state of fucking psychosis too, and like a fucking, basically like a zombie. Hey, nobody's there, but the eyes are open and you're walking and you're breathing, but fucking now, you know, it's all fucking, as the term is crack talk, you know, the term is fucking cooked, you know, fully cooked. And those of our whānau, you know, even extended whānau that are still out there doing whatever it is that they're doing, you know, that's completely your choice. And you might have a hold on it, but those just guarantee that nah, that's not even the case. I went through a phase of like fucking 3-4 years thinking that I had a hold on it, that I was the one in charge. I was the one smoking, and I was the one. Well, I'm the one that's feeding it, so I'm all good. You know, I can control this, but nah, that's not even how I win, whānau. So, you know, each to their own. I'm fucking I can guarantee right today, you know, I'm 5 years clean when I hit the 23rd of June 2025. I'm 5 years clean of methamphetamine, and I had you know, there's no more psychosis states for me. You know, there's no more fucking, well, actually, I don't give a fuck about what people say, what people think, what people do. You know, I didn't do this shit for none of y'all motherfuckers. I did this shit for me. And the only thing that I need around me is positivity and the strength to carry on, because, you know, yeah, that's it, funny. And I will make these videos actually more and more current to how we're living and how we're going as we move forward. You know, and I thank you all for allowing the time, take the time to listen to my korero, and much appreciated.